This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Wednesday, August 7th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So, interesting move so far in AMAG. So, looks like crap, don't get me wrong. The chart is a little bit deceiving, but one thing I really like, if you look from this morning, I mean, we're coming up at basically since 7:44, we don't see any buying. Okay, all the bigger prints out there, and it's not like the orders are really that thin. You can see 1100 here, 1150 here. There's definitely, especially with 415,000 shares being traded, there's definitely stuff available out there. So coming in just to see almost all selling at every single spot, except at 8, which is actually a good thing considering the fact that it really doesn't have to even come up and pull up. But you could just see these constant bursts of selling that are coming back in. So all selling tells us that the stock is looking to go down. And one thing that I love about it is the fact that, well, on TradeStation, and I'm sure most places, you're able to short it, which is, obviously very important when there's only selling going on out there. So this is probably one of my favorites, even though right this second it looks like absolute garbage. But overall, the substance between this disgusting chart that we're looking at is all, like I said, is just all selling. Next thing looking at is BYND, and I'm so tired of putting this on my list, but it's just one of those stocks I'm going to have to pay attention to. You can see this morning at 165 had a whole bunch of selling that came into it. Now afterwards, you got a little bit of buying at 164, but more than likely what that's going to be is just going to be some riders that are riding up the pullback from this 165. Because if we go back to 812, you can see we really never got a proper pullback for a stock like BYND with this much at 165. So overall, looks pretty black and white to me. So we'll be watching that, and then obviously, best case is the highest percentage going to be a move back down towards those prints at that 165 for the pre-market. And BYND, this is a pretty great show of hand. Next thing we're looking at is NEWR. So NEWR is another one where it just doesn't look very good, but overall we can see coming in from yesterday, this thing took a huge hit. On average, trades $2.75. So we can see that this is going to be quite a large range. Only has 131,000 shares though, so that's just one thing that I'm a little worried about is the fact that it doesn't trade a lot of volume. So once the market opens, we might not really see it get that trading volume come in. That was my only worry in it, because as you can see, as we continue to push back down, we keep getting this selling coming in, and these bursts of selling might not look like a lot, but if you come over here to the orders and see that there's really nothing available, and the spread is jumping pretty much from 50 cents or so, 30 to 50 cents. So another one that is that definitely has the difficulty of trade sitting there at that 61.50 as we saw before. Obviously, coming to 60, we're going to want to see more selling to show us that we're going to have even more room down from after that. And then we have MTCH. So MTCH is another one, $2.52 on average. Doesn't usually trade a lot of volume, but today already 118,000 shares, and it's the day after having earnings. So after earnings, we usually get an influx of volume to come in. You can see yesterday we were trading over about 3 million, which still isn't a lot, but overall, it certainly has a bunch of room. And you got to remember as well, coming back down to pretty much this 82.50 level, there's really not much resistance, support at all throughout this move towards that upside. So we just need a show of hand. As you can see this morning, we really haven't got anything great that's in there yet, but we should definitely see a larger range and an increase of volume. Certainly something that we're going to be. Oh, don't believe me, Davis. We're going to talk about gold. If I wake up to 1507, the price of gold, we're going to talk about it. I'm just going to go through stocks first. All right, next thing we're looking at is RYTM. So, oops, that's not the right spot. RYTM. So this is going to be on our side list. Okay, and this is not looking very good so far, but I do like this little burst that we got at that 24.50 level as we're starting to come back down. I don't know what made it jump up, but there's nothing holding it there from what I can see. This beautiful early mornings, 24.50 and 24 and 23, 23.50, 24.50, and 24 bid prints that we saw at that such an early time, which is something that, obviously we have to keep in mind. And then jumping up on literally nothing is just showing us that this stock, I don't know what it's up on, but it doesn't really show that it should be there. Another really interesting thing you could see right here, right before we started our meeting, at that 25 level, 100,000, 50,000, 50,000, and 25,000. So certainly 25 is a huge level. We can see we have obviously the print line there. We're $1 away already, but it going to need to see more, but just very interesting. So, it's on the side list, obviously, for a reason. OAS, another one that I'm going to be looking at. And the only reason I'm looking at OAS is because you can short it. It looks dead. Just not really much there. You can see coming into that 3 level, we did get some selling. It's a little bit mixed and really nothing at 3. So, we need to see something a little bit better, but it's certainly worth watching. And then Weight Watchers. When this company was at 100, I hated it, and I still kind of hate it right now. I'm not a big Weight Watchers fan. I think the whole thing was, propped up because of Oprah, and then, that's nor here nor there. But this morning, we should certainly get a little bit more than we usually see. We have usually trades on, basically about $1. Some selling coming in, but the real thing that come in is at that 25 level. You can see a huge amount at 720. So I'm almost expecting it to come down at least, another 50 cents a dollar based off of that, because you got to remember something that happened at 720. A lot of times it's going to take a longer time for it to come to fruition because of the fact that it happened that early in the pre-market. When it happens that early in the pre-market, most of the time it's because somebody's really needs to build up a position. Otherwise, they would wait, as closer towards that open. So not the best. It's on the bottom of my side list, but something to look at. So overall, we got some good stuff. Now, another thing I do want to talk about for a second is Uber. So Uber, today's the 7th, right? So the 7th, tomorrow they're going to have earnings. I'd keep an eye on this thing because you could see yesterday into the close, which really doesn't mean much, but the fact that that's some weird timing for these prints to start to come in. We're looking at 550, 553, and then set early this morning, you could see it's just really been nothing but selling. And then we got those bid prints at that 39. So nice little show of hand right there at 815. So another one where it's not really worthy because it's traded 72,000 shares of being on the list, but it's something that I am going to be watching pretty damn closely over these next 2 days. So just another thing to kind of talk about. Baba at 155, easy move off that high percentage play at 157. Absolutely. Remember, 157, huge amount of selling. 155, if I remember correctly, has a bunch of selling from the day previously. So certainly something to look. Did CRW, oops, wrong one. Jesus. Did CRWD print? Nope. 2,800 at 85.24, but nothing really going on there. Yes, 13 bid prints, 155 from 2 days back. Beautiful. Thank you, Derek. And it hits the 39 several times. That was on that was from yesterday on Uber. And it's been selling at 40 below once it got there. I'm assuming that you're talking. Oh, yes, absolutely, with Uber. Okay? And I hate the company. I love their service. Don't get me wrong. I just hate them as a company on paper. But that's, here nor there. My hate is not going to make a stock go down. Selling will, though. All right, guys. Let's talk about gold for a second. So I would definitely get in on this next onsite, because if gold keeps up on the way it is, I'm not going to be here anymore. To be completely honest with you, I don't know what you guys use to look at the futures. I usually just pick up on FinWiz, but this morning I always pull it up, and 1507. If we keep going, guys, I would certainly get enrolled, because things might happen a lot quicker than we thought. But coming over to Nugget, I know a bunch of you guys are looking into Nugget, and this thing is just on a rampage. And it just, in my opinion, and this, I'm going off gold, I'm not going off Nugget, but in my opinion, it's just started. So I've been telling you guys for what now, 6-7 years, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. So if you did, wonderful. You got to be ecstatic right now. If not, it's not too late. Okay, it's as I told you guys, it's a longer term plan in my for myself. So it's not too late, but the more you wait, the higher it gets, the more expensive, the less you can get in one time, and so on and so forth. So something I would definitely start looking into. But Nugget, nothing, any real great prints that came in this morning yet. But just this thing is on a rampage, and if my gold plan works, Nugget's going to have to continue to go up. And obviously, my gold plan's working pretty damn well right now. Let's see. Retirement next year. That would be phenomenal. Someone mentioned Disney chat 135 bid. Beautiful. Absolutely. Let's throw Disney up on there. Disney had earnings yesterday, correct? They took a hit, I believe. Yes. Okay. So Disney won. Ooh, wow. I would have expected Disney to kind of pull up back a little bit, but look at these prints that we have from this morning. 135.50, 135. This thing is nothing but selling. So I wouldn't be shocked to see a nice big move up in this thing before we end up seeing it come right back down. And then WLL from yesterday. That was a beautiful call out, Doug. WL, we broke underneath, so just going to need to see some more. I had Munster sell yesterday at 10. Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, so we got a whole bunch of stuff for us to be looking at today. Let's get ready for our morning. Remember, when we have such a large list, do not get caught up trying to watch everything. Go out there, find your favorite two, depending on how many stocks you're trading, find your favorite 2 or 3 stocks that have the best show of hands and take it from there. Do not try to look at everything because you're going to be all over the place and end up kind of just getting in that freeze mode where you don't really ever end up doing anything because you're looking at too many things at once. All right. So overall, we should definitely, like I said, definitely have a great morning. I will talk to everyone in the chat and happy trading.